From the moment Gypsy Rose Blanchard discovered she was pregnant, something shifted, not in her body, though that was undeniable, but in her mind, her strategy, her every move. This wasn't just a personal chapter unfolding, it was a calculated plan being laid out like a script for a reality show no one knew she was producing, every heartbeat captured on ultrasound, every tear-streaked moment of anticipation, every doctor's visit meticulously filmed. It all pointed to one thing: this pregnancy was never going to stay private. And now, as the world watches her daughter Aurora grow up under the flickering light of a camera lens, the truth becomes impossible to ignore. Gypsy Rose isn't just documenting motherhood, she's monetizing it, exploiting it, turning her child into content. Let's be clear, this isn't some innocent slip into influencer culture. Gypsy made promises. Over and over again, she swore she would protect Aurora from the spotlight. She didn't just casually mention it, she built her post-prison image around it. She wanted the world to see her as reformed, grounded, responsible. A woman who had suffered at the hands of media exploitation and vowed never to repeat the cycle. But now, barely months after Aurora's birth, Gypsy has launched a full-fledged family vlog channel on YouTube, entirely dedicated to her life as a mother, entirely centered around her baby girl, the very thing she claimed she would never do. And yet, there she is, holding Aurora, filming routines, capturing bedtime moments, narrating diaper changes, all while blurring her daughter's face and calling it privacy. It's not privacy, it's manipulation. A clever loophole dressed up in buzzwords like autonomy and respect. But when your child is on display in every other way, her voice, her body, her clothes, her movements, blurring the face doesn't shield her. It just makes it easier for the audience to look away from the real issue. That Gypsy is profiting off of her daughter's infancy. She didn't just wake up one day and decide to make parenting videos. No, this was planned. Long before Aurora took her first breath, Gypsy was already recording, saving footage, archiving moments, storing them like currency in a vault waiting for the right time to release them. And now, with a new channel, millions of eyes watching and brand deals surely lining up, she's cashing in. Her pregnancy wasn't just a life event, it was content. Her labor, content. Her baby's cries, sleep schedules, bath times, outfits, all content. Everything she once promised to keep sacred is now edited, captioned, and uploaded for public consumption. People believed her when she said she wouldn't expose Aurora. Some even praised her for it, calling it maturity, growth, proof that she had changed. But trust doesn't last long when actions speak louder than words. When she showed Aurora's face live on TikTok, when she posted photos where the baby's features were only partially hidden, when she put her newborn in front of the camera within days of giving birth, contradicting everything she had sworn she wouldn't do, it wasn't an accident. It wasn't a mistake. It was a pivot, a shift in branding, a business decision wrapped in maternal sentimentality. And then came the backlash. Because people noticed, people cared, people remembered the promises. So Gypsy responded, not with honesty, but with damage control. An Instagram story carefully worded, polished, rehearsed, saying they chose to blur Aurora's face out of respect and future autonomy. But what kind of respect allows strangers to hear your baby cry, watch her squirm, analyze her sleeping patterns? What kind of autonomy does a newborn have when her entire early life is being recorded without consent? That blur filter isn't protection, it's a smokescreen. A way to soothe critics while still profiting from exposure. A way to say, look, I'm doing the right thing, while continuing to post intimate moments of a child who can't say no, can't protest, can't even understand what's happening. Gypsy decides when the camera rolls. Gypsy decides what gets uploaded. Gypsy decides which pieces of Aurora's life become public property. And once those videos are online, they're out there forever. Screenshotted, downloaded, shared, stored, reused. This isn't harmless background noise. This is exposure. And it's dangerous. Because identity theft, cyberbullying, unwanted attention, those aren't abstract fears. They're real risks. Risks Gypsy is taking with her daughter's future because of views, engagement, ad revenue, because of clicks, because of money. Because let's not pretend otherwise. This isn't about sharing joy. It's about leveraging motherhood into a marketable brand. The worst part, none of this came out of nowhere. From the moment she announced her pregnancy, Gypsy treated it like content. She shared high-resolution 4K sonogram images of her unborn child. She posed for mini photo sessions with ultrasound prints. She gave weekly bump updates with curated captions and outfit changes. She knew people were watching, knew they were clicking, knew they were engaging, and she leaned in, hard, because she saw the numbers rise. The followers grow, the likes pile up. By the time Aurora was born, Gypsy already had an archive, months' worth of footage ready to roll out, carefully edited clips of prenatal visits, emotional reactions, hospital preparations, even the actual delivery was filmed, contractions timed, epidural administered, screams captured. And now those same clips are being repurposed for her new channel, not for memories, not for Aurora's baby book, for profit. Even Aurora's bedtime routine was turned into a video, not a spontaneous capture of a tender moment, but a pre-recorded session held back until the channel launched, the lighting adjusted, the angles chosen, the editing done. It wasn't about being present, it was about production, about planning, about turning motherhood into monetization. And when you look at it that way, the truth is unavoidable. Gypsy wasn't making memories, she was collecting assets. And then there's the safety aspect. Because if we're talking about responsibility, let's talk about the car seat, or rather the lack of proper buckling. Footage surfaced of Gypsy driving with Aurora unsecured in her car seat, not loosely fastened, not improperly clipped, completely unbuckled. Strangers on the internet immediately called her out, warned her, pleaded with her to take Aurora to a fire station to learn how to properly install a car seat, because what she did was reckless, dangerous, potentially fatal. But instead of acknowledging the risk, she doubled down, didn't apologize, didn't remove the footage, didn't admit fault, just kept posting, kept uploading. Because stopping would mean losing momentum, losing traction, losing money. And maybe, just maybe, that's the most disturbing part of all, that Gypsy values views more than her child's well-being, that she prioritizes content over care, that she puts clout above caution. Because this isn't just about blurred faces or viral videos, it's about ethics. It's about trust. It's about a mother who said one thing and did another, who built a persona around protection and shattered it with a single upload, who used trauma to gain sympathy, and now uses innocence to gain influence. And the saddest part, Aurora has no choice in any of it. No voice, no say, no escape. So what happens next? Will Gypsy continue to push boundaries? Will the blur eventually fade altogether? Will the thirst for attention grow stronger until Aurora's face is fully exposed again? Or worse, will someone digitally remove the blur and share her face without permission? Because once a child's image is online, it's no longer in the parent's control. It belongs to the internet, to predators, to hackers, to anyone willing to exploit it. And what about the future? What happens when Aurora grows up and realizes her entire infancy was broadcasted for strangers to consume? Will she feel betrayed? Will she question her mother's love? Will she struggle with identity, knowing her earliest moments weren't hers to own? These are real consequences, real questions, real pain that could have been avoided. If only Gypsy had honored her promise. But here we are, watching a woman who once begged for privacy, now dishing out exposure. Watching a child who was supposed to be protected now being performed for. Watching a mother who should be shielding her daughter instead be selling her story. And the scariest part, this isn't unique. Gypsy is just the most extreme example of a growing trend. Parents using their children for clout. Influencers raising kids under constant surveillance. Families treating childhood like content pipelines. We've normalized it, shrugged it off, called it harmless. But it's not. Children deserve privacy. They deserve agency. They deserve to grow up without being watched by millions before they can even walk. And if parents won't give that to them willingly, then society needs to start holding them accountable. So yes, Gypsy Rose is doing exactly what she always intended to do. She's exploiting her daughter for fame, for fortune, for relevance. And she's not hiding it anymore. She's not even trying to. She knows people will keep watching, keep clicking, keep scrolling, because that's how the algorithm works. That's how the system thrives. On drama, on controversy, on tragedy disguised as entertainment. And so we ask ourselves, was this always the plan? Was Aurora ever truly meant to be protected? Or was she always destined to be the star of a story she never agreed to be in? Because if we don't speak up now, if we don't draw a line, if we don't demand better, we're complicit too.